welcome back to our Wednesday workouts. We're glad you're coming. We are seeing a lot of people join in each week, so we love for you to be here with us. Remember, anytime during the workout that you need to sit and rest, you do so. Obviously taking strong, deep breaths, drinking plenty of water, having a towel if you are a sweater, Stephen. Making sure that you are being safe at home, and you guys take the appropriate precautions to do so. Today's workout's a little bit different than the first two that we've been doing. We're going to start off with a 5-minute warm-up. We'll have a 5-minute cool down, and our intervals are going to be in 45 seconds and 15 seconds. So we'll be working for 45 seconds. I know that sounds crazy and drooling. We're almost doubling the time, right? So, and then our 15-second breather. So we'll do work for 45 seconds and we'll rest for 15. We're going to go ahead and start right off with our warm-up. Go ahead and march in place and go. Again, Monica's our modifier today. Stephen is our high-intense guy. And I'm just going to kind of show you different options as we go. Anytime we're in a standing position, we try to stay strong, tall, shoulders lifted, everything is strong. We're going to go straight from our marches into side taps. So all we're going to do is tap to the side, tap to the side. And remember this one for later, because we will go a little bit higher intensity with this side tap. So again, all I'm doing is just shifting my weight. If you feel like you need some support for balance, you can always stand up next to your chair and do these taps with some support in front or onto the side. Back to your marches right here. So march in place. Good. And we're going to go back to those side taps. Again, only going at your level. So don't feel like you have to follow exactly where we are and step by step. And again, if you have a timer at home and you want to time your intervals and do it on your own accord. And go ahead and tap side to side. Good. Obviously, we're warming up our heart rate, our respiratory rate, our lower body. Now we're going to go into our upper body a little bit. We're going to go right into some shoulder rolls in 4, 3, 2, and shoulder rolls to the back. Right here. Big, tall shoulder rolls. Up. Very nice. So our warm-up obviously is very important. When you are here with us and you are actually going through therapy with us, we really concentrate on a good 5-minute warm-up and a 5-minute cool down. And relax, change those directions of those shoulders going forward. So we want to try to inundate that with you with your home exercise as well, how important it is to warm up the body, get those muscles ready. And then also when you're finished with the workout to bring everything back down to baseline. And hands come across. Now we're going to do just a cross stretch. So all you're going to do, don't press on that joint, but press on the arm across the body. You should feel your respiratory rate, that's the rate at which you're breathing, increasing. And switch other side. Muscles should be a little warm. And overhead stretch, both hands reach up, nice and tall, almost like you're trying to squeeze your ears with your biceps. Nice and tall. And relax. Now you're going to need to make that stance on your feet nice and wide. Nice lower body stretch. Bend and place that weight in your right leg. This is a side lunge stretch. Remember this for later. We will be using this later on as well. Chin is lifted, always trying to keep that head lifted so that we're breathing nice and strong, and switch other side. Only go to the point that you feel that stretch, no pain. And back to center, walk those feet in. I want you to press that right heel out, pull those toes up, and just sit those hips back, but again, keeping that chin and chest lifted. So now you should be feeling the stretch in the back side of the leg and the hamstring. And our 5-minute warm-up is almost complete. Slowly bring it up and down. So again, we're going to go into a 45-second work, 15-second rest. I know that sounds crazy, daunting, but we can do it. I promise. movements. The movements that we're going to be doing today are going to build strength, not only cardiovascularly, but muscularly. So we've got about 15 seconds. Our first two moves, going to be heel tap to the front. There's a lot of different options here. You can just hold here. Stephen will be tapping here. Okay. We can also go heel tap, toe tap. So you can watch me periodically. I'll be changing it up from a heel tap to a toe tap. Okay. Lots of movement here. And we are ready to start our 45 seconds. And go. Stephen's going to get tired on this one. 45 seconds will seem long. So I'm tapping out, and then I'm just kind of switching from heel to toe, just keeping my body moving. Monica's doing the same thing. She's just doing it in a seated position. And again, her chair that she's using is nice and strong, sturdy. Almost there. 10 more seconds. Good. And tap. And stop and rest. Very good. Now you're going to grab some dumbbells. We're going to go into a bicep shoulder press. We're going to go right into our bicep shoulder press. Stephen will be using both hands at the same time, both arms at the same time. I will be alternating just to modify it and slow it down a little bit. Monica will be doing the same thing as I'm doing. She's just going to do it seated. Nice and tall here, and bicep. Bicep, shoulder press, and down. And then I'm going to switch and go other arm. Good. Bicep, up and down. So this is what we call a multi-muscle movement, meaning we're using all kinds of different muscles, recruiting all kinds of different muscles to move our arm up and over our head. Obviously, if you're using both arms at the same time, it gets a little bit more intense, a little bit more challenging. Alternating arms will also kind of make you feel a little off balance, which is also good for the core strength. And stop. These 45 seconds are hard to do on the time on the timer. All right, dumbbells down. We're going back to our heel taps. We only do these movements twice, so this is the final time we will do these. Heel tap, side tap, go. Heels and toes. Good. Keep moving. Notice how my arms are moving. I'm just kind of utilizing my arms to balance and to move smoothly from one movement to the other and from body weight shift to body weight shift. Breathing in that nose, out that mouth. Good. 10 more seconds. You're doing great. These 45 seconds are tough. Good. And stop and rest. 15 seconds there. Back to our bicep shoulder press. Back to our bicep shoulder press. Again, if I failed to mention the first time, when the hands are above the head, you got to really make sure you have a nice loose bend in your knees to take the pressure off the low back. And go. Up. Breathe through the motion. Exhaling on the toughest part of that movement. So most of you, the toughest part will be raising that head or hand over your head. So that's where you're going to do that exhale. Again, when all else fails, just breathe. Keep breathing in that nose, out that mouth. 15 more seconds there. We're so proud of each and every one of you that are attempting to go through the exercises and completing those exercises. You're doing great. And last one, and stop. Very good. So now we got a 30-second breather. 30-second breather between these. And we're going to move into our next movements. Our next movements are going to be your two different exercises. Jumping jacks for 15 seconds. I will be modifying my jumping jacks here. Stephen will be doing the higher intensity. And Monica will be modifying in the chair as well. First movement, for ease on my timing and my lack of timing correctly, got another 10 seconds. And then we'll go for our first 45 seconds of jumping jacks. Then our next movement will be squats, a variation of a squat, a plie squat. And jumping jacks go. And just because I'm modifying doesn't mean that I'm not getting a full cardiovascular workout here. My hands are going above my head, I'm using lots of muscles, and because I'm doing so, my heart's having to work extra hard to supply those working muscles with plenty of circulation. You guys doing good?
Yeah.
They're quiet today.
Steven can't talk.
Steven can't talk. He's doing high intensity work over there. Good, 10 more seconds. Probably should have failed, or I probably failed to mention that if you're jumping, that hopefully no one's asleep downstairs, and relax. All right, so the other movement we're doing with our jumping jacks is a plie squat. I'm actually going to have Monica stand to do this one behind the chair. Plie squat is a nice wide squat. Feet are slightly turned out. Do not do this, folks. Okay? We're not penguins. We're going to take it nice and wide. We're going to go down and up. Down and up. If you have a kitchen countertop, the back of your couch, piece of furniture that you can hold on to, that's what Monica's doing, just allowing for the body to utilize some of that pressure onto the piece of equipment or the piece of apparatus rather than her legs. Steven's going deep into that plie and coming up nice and strong. I'm minimizing the movement just slightly. Weight should still be in the heels of my feet. Again, if this is uncomfortable for you, you always stop. You always have the option of going to a regular squat as well. Second set of jumping jacks, and then we'll go to our final set of plies. You guys are doing awesome. And go. 45 seconds of jumping jacks. Then we have 30-second rest. Good. Now, Steven's doing high intensity jumping jacks. That means he's placing his weight primarily in the balls of his feet, not landing into those heels a whole lot. I'm kind of utilizing that side tap motion that we did in our warm-up with some added arms above the head. 5 more seconds. And relax. Very good. Back to our plie squat. Now, I know in our first video we mentioned the quarter thing. We're going to talk about that too. Quarter in between those cheeks, butt cheeks. Keep it there. Ready? And go. Down and up. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Also making sure that when you are doing your most work, which is the lifting of the body weight, that's when you're doing your exhale. Good. Chest is lifted, shoulders are pulled back. 15 seconds. You guys are doing great. And last one. And rest. You've got 30 seconds. Grab some water, towel, wipe yourself off. All right, so we're up to our third group of exercises. High knees, we've done those in all of our exercises so far. That will be our first 45 seconds. Then our second one is a little bit more interesting. We got some tricep extensions overhead. We'll teach those as we go. Got about 10 seconds here before we get started. First move, high knees. Steven will be going high intensity. Are we ready? And go. High knees here. And Monica's doing high knees in her chair as well. Think about when you're in a seated position to really work those lower abdominals. Also, obviously, while we're standing, you should be working those abdominals to lift those knees high. Anytime that this becomes too much, you can simply go to just a march if you choose. Breathe through it. Keep a big smile on your face. Doing the body some good here. Heart, lungs, are appreciating this little extra boost today. And relax. All right, so I'm going to grab one dumbbell. You can either grab a dumbbell, bottle of water. Monica said you could grab your dog, your cat. I would say be kind to your animals. We're going to take that dumbbell. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. We're going to go ahead and get started with a tricep extension. So once we're here, we're going to add on to that by bringing that dumbbell forward, dropping it to our chest, lifting, then behind and up. We've already started, Stephen.
Oh.
Care to join us?
Nope, I'm good.
Stephen says he's done. I'm done. I don't want to do anymore. We've got 15 seconds. Again, as I turn sideways, you'll see that one of those motions goes behind, one goes to my chest, back, and down. All the movement is totally controlled, and stop. Very good. Release, put that down, back to our high knees. You guys doing good? Yeah?
Yes. Excellent.
All right. All right. Knees up, go. One. Good. Lift. Knees high. Pulling through the abdominals, keeping the chest lifted. So I don't want to see this. I don't want you guys going around the house like this. Keep it nice and tall. Lift. Be proud. Number one, just be proud because you're doing this, right? You're here. You're engaged. You're joining probably another, let's say 20 or 30 people. They're doing the same thing you are. And 5 more seconds. And stop. Back to our tricep extension, chest press, what we're calling this one. Nice and strong. If you're not ready to start yet, then start. Start when you feel like you're ready. And go. Also, in regards to your stance, Stephen is keeping his feet nice and wide and his knees are loosely bent. You can also go to a staggered stance, one foot in front of the other. Okay. All that does is just take some of that pressure off that low back. Just making sure you're not locking your knees out, not putting any undue pressure or stress on your low back. Starting to sweat some. Oh, love it when we sweat. Get all those toxins out of your body. And stop. You gotta rest. Water and towel off. And breathe. Always good to breathe. You guys might be wondering now, how many more of these we got? We got 2 more. 2 more sets of 2 exercises. Our next exercises are side steps or skaters. I believe Stephen taught some skaters last time, hopping from side to side. I'm just going to be doing side steps here. I'm going to have Monica stand up and do behind her chair with some support. Just little tiny steps from side to side. So side step, and then we'll rest. We'll do another movement with upper body and weights. And here we go, side step. And I'm going to turn sideways so you can see knees are going to be bent, okay? Don't want you standing straight up. You want knees bent, legs doing that work. You can be slightly tilted forward, okay, from your hips. A lot of times when we do exercise and when we're instructing exercise, we say keep your back straight. That doesn't mean here, okay? Doesn't mean upright. It just means nice and strong. Support your shoulders, support your back. About 10 more seconds. Excellent work. And stop. Good. Next movement is another multi-movement exercise. Again, you're going to grab 2 weights. You choose what they are. Again, water bottles. You do this with your resistance band if you have those at home as well. We're going to go upright row to frontal raise. Now, Stephen's going to do upright row, both arms and upright row or a frontal raise both arms. I was late at starting this one, so we're going to go now. Upright row, and then I'm going to alternate, and Monica and I are going to alternate our upward frontal raise. Lift. Remember on that front raise, you have a loose bend in the elbow. Try not to lock those elbows out. And with your upright row, you're pulling those dumbbells up and almost into your armpits. Good. Shoulders should be feeling it. Almost there, last one. And stop. Very good. Weights go down. Back to our skaters. Or side steps, your choice. Again, chin is lifted, shoulders are down and back. And go. Side to side. Hopefully you're all still hanging in there. We love that you're here with us. So proud of each and every one of you for at least beginning and hopefully finishing that workout. If not, whatever you can do each time. Hopefully you add a few more minutes on to your last exercise bout. And stop. Very good. Last movement, upright row, frontal raise. Breathe in that nose, out that mouth. Try to recover that breathing and heart rate, and go. To armpits, and extend, and extend. Breathe through these motions, make these movements smooth and controlled. You guys are awesome. Love that you're here. 10 more seconds. Working strong, working hard, and working smart. And stop. Very good. And we rest. Last 30 seconds of breather. We'll do one more second segment of exercises. The first exercise of our last one. This is one I'm going to have Monica stand behind the chair as well. She will be utilizing the chair for support. We're doing side leg lifts. Okay, think about making those legs strong and long. Okay, no noodle legs. Okay, we're not doing this. We make them strong and long. And here we go. Lift, lift. The only thing I'm going to have Stephen do to increase intensity is he's going to lift his hands above his head, and then he's going to feel this a lot through his core and through his waistline. He's probably happy I'm having him do that.
Appreciate it.
He likes that. I threw that one on him last minute, so. Very good. And how can we modify this even more? We can slow it down if you need to. So slowing the motion down, take some of that intensity away. These you should be feeling right there in the high knee. Right there in those high knees. And stop. Very good. Wasn't thinking when I wrote this one up. Wasn't thinking about this, but next one is your up downs. So Monica's going to come around to the chair, okay? Again, at your own speed. So your high knees are already feeling good. Now we're going to make them feel better. And we're going to go down and up. I missed that timer, so if you guys already started, that's okay. My fault. Ready and go. 45 seconds here. Hopefully none of you are at home clocking every move, grading us. But I missed that one. Exhale on the lift, meaning exhale as we lift that body weight. Inhale as release. More seconds. Good. Heinies are feeling awesome. And slowly bring it up and stop.
So it's 22 of those, just in case anyone's...
Yeah. Monica's got
more than you're used to.
22, so we doubled the amount that we normally do in a class. So if, again, you needed to sit during those and only do the 10 to 12 that we normally do in a class time, then do that. All right, leg lifts, last one here. Ready? And go. Keep the heel pressed. Extend through the heel, okay? Right now we're not going to point those toes. Sometimes pointing the toes can put a little extra pressure on the actual kneecap itself. So heels pressed so that we're really focused in on those glutes. Nice and tall. Legs are getting heavier.
Yep.
Some of you maybe here by now, and that's okay. Do what you can. Stop if you need to, and relax. Very good. Whew. I think we only did 30 seconds, Stephen.
No,
I think
30.
Stephen stopped.
Start at 30.
Okay. Last one, up downs. Ready? And go. And lift. Now I've said this many times before in the classes I teach here, that if you're having difficulty with up downs, you can also always minimize your movement, okay? But you got to keep in mind, what are we lifting here? What's our resistance? Our resistance is our own body weight, right? So we have a little bit of control on what we're lifting and what we're not. Are you catching my drift? Okay, so the more you weigh, the more you're lifting. The less you weigh, the less you have to lift. So the more exercise you do, hopefully these get easier because you weigh less, right? And stop. She's like, stop talking. We're almost there. We got our cool down and we're done. So as you're breathing, as you're relaxing, as you're trying to get some water, wiping your sweat off your brow, the next slow cool down move we're going to do, we haven't done in a while. We used to do our YTWs all the time. Y being forcing a Y out of your body, okay? Bringing those in and out and then back. So we got YTWs. So we got Y, we bring them in, and we do T's, bring it in, and we do a W. See that W? Might not see it as well in the camera as I want you to, but the W's, the elbows should be pulling back and down, squeezing through our upper body, okay? So we're just going to do a few of those to slow our breathing and to slow our movements. So we're going to come up in a Y, bring it down, come out in a T, bring it down, pull it back in a W. Good. And release it down. Go Y. Notice my thumbs are facing back. Bring it down. Thumbs are facing forward, palms are down. Bring it down and back to our W's. Bring it down. Go Y. Bring it down. Go T. Bring it down. Go W's. I know a lot of you, these were some of your favorite things we used to do, and we kind of stopped doing them there for a while. One last time. Y, because I said so. T, and down, and W, release. Good. Big shoulder rolls, breathing in that nose, out that mouth. And forward. And relax. Take those feet nice and wide. We did this one at the very beginning. I told you we would be doing it again. Take that weight to that right side. Really press through those legs. Should feel a good stretch in your inner thigh of that left leg. Chin is lifted. If you want, you can reach those hands out a little bit, getting a little bit of a core stretch, a little bit of balance. Release. Bring it back to center. And to the left. Left knee is bent. Right leg is extended. Arms out. And back to center. Very good. I want you to hinge from the hips. Only go halfway. Press those high knees back. You should feel a good stretch in the hamstrings. And release. One more stretch for those hamstrings. And we did it earlier. once you press that right heel out, pull that toe up, and press that high knee back. Chin is lifted. Think about pressing your chest to the floor, not your forehead. So chest to the floor, not forehead. And bring it up. And left side. Same thing. You'll notice Monica's doing this with some support of that chair. Excellent choice if you're trying to modify. And if your legs are a little shaky and you're afraid you're going to fall. And slowly bring it up. Big deep breath. Inhale all the way up. Exhale out. One more time. Lift. And out. We did it. 31 minutes total. You guys rocked the house, and so did you.
Good job.